if you don't know me, what, you were living under a rock or what? How do you not know me, the most famous superstar ever to exist in the history?
And the most humble.
Yeah, absolutely. And the most good looking. You missed that part out. Welcome everybody to Fame by Frame, a podcast that is about content and YouTube, and that's actually about it.
Editing, thumbnails, everything encompassing the YouTube universe.
Wow, that's so much English.
Yes, that's why they hired me as writer.
You can see the difference between a government school graduate and somebody who actually went to college.
You didn't go to college?
No, my father was the principal, so
you bunked?
Yeah, pretty much. So
That's
my
nice.
teacher used to call me and be like, "Kya aaj college aane wala hai?" And I used to be like, "Ma'am, sorry."
Damn.
So my college used to start at 12 and end at 3, and I used to go at 2:30 to give attendance.
Wow. And they took it?
Yeah, of course. Principal का बेटा हूँ भाई, मेरे को थोड़ी ना कुछ बोलेंगे.
Wow.
So the idea of the podcast is to help us geek out about YouTube, because that's all we do. That's our life. That has been
actually like this. That's how we talk, dude. Like
yeah.
we meet each other in the hallway and like, hey, views itna bad gaya hai. Oh, we're getting this many subscribers.
Yeah.
That's all. Nobody asks, what do you eat?
Yeah.
How you did last night? Are you okay? Nobody asks.
Like we have given into a succumb to the corporate slavery, where nothing we talk about is actual life and all we do is work.
It's such a bubble, right?
Yeah.
Nobody cares about it. If you step outside on the street, nobody cares about the views or not. But for us, it's like,
oh my God, you got so much and that's all we've been doing. So ever since we started Aevy, now at this point, we are running about, I think, 10 side projects, and every single one of them is like just media related. And we have like this one channel called AI Rangers. We have 100x Engineers. We have Aevy. We have Aevy Shorts. We have, what else? We have this podcast. We have Overpowered Podcast. What else? Oh my God. We have so many that we don't even know that exists. And so many that are in the cooking and like in the background, and some of them are just pulling millions of views per month. Like AI Rangers have started pulling millions of views. By the way, AI Rangers is a like shorts only, reel only about AI channel. You guys can go and check it out. We've probably put it up on screen. And yeah, so the idea is we will talk about all the learnings that we are having from all these different separate properties blowing up at the same time. I don't know how it's happening.
Even I don't know how it's happening. And so much of it is like a mystery to us. Like we know, we look at the analytics and try to figure out stuff. Yeah. But one part of it is just like a mystery. Like you're guessing.
It's throwing shit on the wall.
Yeah.
And in the recent times, I've been getting better and better at throwing shit on the wall.
That's what monkeys do. Throw shit on the wall.
Truly not far from my ancestral roots.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I've noticed in the recent times, I mean, what I've been doing. So when we started Aevy, I was involved in every aspect of the process. This is 9 months ago. 9 months ago, we were 3 people in a 3 BHK. Then 6 months ago, we were 17 people in a 3 BHK.
Okay.
Now we are almost 30 people, and we have gotten ourselves 2 new
villas.
Villas. And we have pretty much outgrown those as well. Like we are actually actively thinking about getting another place where everybody can exist. And it's insane. And the ride has been actually insane. And so many editors, so many people, so many projects we've been doing. It's
many
insane.
We can't keep track of.
Yeah, we can't actually keep track of. So what my role has become from like an editor plus the senior level guy plus everything to now my focus has come down to only one thing. I call it packaging, which is basically thumbnails and titles. And what we have noticed in the last, I think, 1 to 2 weeks is that is the highest ROI ever.
Yeah, like almost 10% of the views come from your thumbnail and title.
Yeah. So it's insane. So I want to show you guys. I ran this experiment way back, and we have done this multiple times. But I want to show you guys the latest.
But before that, I think Ocus, we should introduce ourselves to the people,
absolutely.
the 2-3 people who don't know us.
Ocus, obviously. Like if you don't know me, what, you were living under a rock or what? How do you not know me, the most famous superstar ever to exist in the history?
And the most humble.
Yeah, absolutely, and the most good looking. You missed that part out. Starting off, let's introduce you. I want people to know you because everybody knows me already.
No, I want you to I want them to know you because they know me.
So you go ahead.
I go, okay, cool. I'm Suraj. I was studying architecture when my buddy called me and said, hey, you want to make YouTube videos? And architecture was paying me 5K per month. So I would have done anything, guys. And we started making YouTube videos and we didn't get any views for the longest time. And then we got recognized. We started getting jobs before we got views. We didn't make any money from YouTube, but like because people saw us like, hey, these guys make good videos. They got us jobs. I started working as an editor with Abish. My friends started working as like a writer, director, and everything. Then you must know Abish Matthew, the famous comedian. No, we just call him Abish.
Yeah. You know,
he's got.
We'll be cool with him like that.
Yeah. So then my friend got a show with Netflix India because of all this YouTube stuff he was doing. And his name is Nikhil Kinney. Yesterday he interviewed, this week he interviewed Rani Mukherjee.
Oh, wow.
Just from like doing YouTube. Even though like we didn't get millions of views, we were like getting recognized in the small Indian community of YouTube. And I want to tell the first video that blew up. We were a 7K subscriber channel. And the first video that just popped and went to 150K. I want to bring it back to the importance of YouTube thumbnails. I just opened Social Blade.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So before it was called Take 900, now it's called Nikhil Kinney. And I think just by looking at this graph, you can tell where it popped.
All right.
All right. So 2 videos popped.
Okay.
And I want to show you the thumbnail. Just like you'll know why it popped. Until then, we were making like 10K.
Let me guess, it's boobies.
Close. Very close, guys. Wow. That was super close.
Oh my God. That's so hilarious.
It's super close. When I go do this, and most popular video is Bangalore boys caught naked in Thurali forest.
Oh wow.
141K views. It hit 100K when we were in a 7K channel. And you can see the thumbnail. You break it down, Okus, actually. Why this popped.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Whoa, it's been a long time since I've seen you naked.
Wow.
But that is such a, I mean, I can understand why it is like it worked as well, because 2 years ago, this YouTube was still, at least in India, was very new. I mean, you guys went extreme with this. Like, I'll be surprised if 2 years ago I saw this and I didn't click on it. And with the X and everything.
Yeah.
What was the idea behind the video?
Dude, actually, it's nothing related to being naked.
Oh.
We filmed a bunch of sketches.
Okay.
And this is like the BTS of it. We were like a sketch channel and we used to do BTS. But it was packaged, right? Like coming back to packaging. It was packaged in a way to drive clicks. The thumbnail title is like Bangalore boys caught naked in Thurali. And the first 5 seconds is also kind of like that. I'll just show it. I don't think the video...
Oh yeah, that makes so much sense. Wow.
It's like nipples and...
Wow, it's just like confirmation. So this is the technique that I wanted to talk about for a very long time, that I know Ryan Tarahan got really good at.
Oh my God, it's stuck on my nipples. Can we go back?
Yeah, so this is something that I really wanted to bring back to. This is something Ryan Tarahan, he didn't coin this, but I can see like he kind of made it famous, the style of creating really, I mean, his thumbnails are very practical, and this guy started blowing up when everybody was trying to do Mr. Beast, and he did Mr. Beast. I mean, I can see a very clear inspiration from Mr. Beast, right? I mean, there is some level of extremism and adventure that he brought in from Mr. Beast, because Mr. Beast was the only person who was, not the only person, but he was one of the more famous one and one of the most people who pioneered it. And what he used to do was, this guy used to do was, he would make thumbnails like this, and just to make sure that people in some sense, stay onto it, was that the first second of his video would be something that is very similar to the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Even though this video in itself, just like you suggested in that previous video, has nothing to do with the entire video. Like he never goes into a room that looks like this in the entire video. But because just for the storytelling aspect of it, he goes just one extra hand to bring that aspect out, which works really well.
Yeah.
And his thumbnails is very like unique to himself, which is something we will get into when we start breaking down more and more thumbnails. But before that, to the people who don't know me, even though I am such a famous, beautiful, handsome superstar and such a humble guy, My name is Okus. I used to run a channel called Papa Okus. Before that, I ran a channel called Okus.
So your parents named you Okus?
No, my parents named me Sheesh, but I've just given up on that name because not one person in my entire life has been able to pronounce it.
Yeah.
It's Harish, it's been Shishir, it's been Shailesh. You want to bet how many people are going to be calling me Shailesh in the comments? Because I know these bastards are not going to stop. But so before that I ran a channel called Okus, and then Okus never worked out because I was primarily speaking in English and I was trying to target an American audience that I couldn't relate to. Then I shifted to Hindi. That channel blew up, did bunch of video essays. One of the first few people who started doing video essays in hyper editing, hyper collage style-esque, walk style-esque. And those videos were blowing up left, right, center. In fact, I was using the formula that Varun Maya is currently using, which one video in 1 month or one video in 2 months.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a super long, super banger with amazing editing that you want to probably sit down with your wife and you want to, sit and eat popcorn. Not with your wife, but maybe like with your friends and stuff. So that was the formula that I was applying. The only difference Varun does right now is he also records a lot of shorts. Back then, shorts was not a thing.
Yeah.
And I was doing that and those videos started blowing up. Some controversies happened. That became my brand. But then I eventually stopped doing video essays because it was unsustainable. And then we started Aevy, and now we are here where we have insane amount of people working on, which I never thought. Like in India, if somebody told me that I have 30 people, 2 huge houses filled with people just working on YouTube. 2 years ago, I would have been like,
it's
how?
crazy. Like when you started YouTube, tell me like what your setup was.
Oh yeah, I actually have an entire video on, I think Okus. I used to create these videos. So I started out with this Agario videos. There's probably I think I hate this voice, so I'm not going to play it. But this is how my setup was.
This is before your voice cracked, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like cringe with the rug and this mic that I saved up for like hundreds of years. Oh my God. I remember. So this was my setup. And now we have like how many lights? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
excessive,
6,
but
7.
Yeah. And a spaceship apparently.
Yeah. We are living in a space. It's insane.
It's insane. Yeah.
Even till my latest years of like filming, my setup was very less, just like one light,
one camera,
one
mic,
and very, very simple. And now we are here doing crazy, insane. This studio costs too much money. Like you can buy a house in the studio's amount of.
Do you think you need a big team to pull views on
Now
YouTube?
I do.
Yeah.
Now I do. Now for the things I want to do, like now I will never go back to trying to create a video
by yourself.
Yeah. Or just aiming that. I know a lot of creators are still in that mindset of, and it's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do that, please go ahead. But like, I just want to create for my own audience, and I want to have a loyal audience that just cares about me. I feel like we have, like a lot of YouTubers out there have a very loyal audience. If they talk about something, I know for a fact that these audience are gonna march towards that particular topic. And this has been taken towards, like, people have become targeted towards it and they have gotten bullied, or some people have like made actual positive impact. Like Abhi and you did that 1 lakh mango trees they're trying to plant. And back in the day, Simon did with like 16,000 trees that he was trying to plant.
Yeah.
So we've had that aspect as well, where loyal audiences have been able to make certain amount of impact. But the view that I have had in the recent, like the change that I've had, the loyalty I measure is in some sense, like if we can create something bigger than us, which is something that we have done with the video editing cohort, where there is an actual transaction happening between us and the community that we have built. And it's an expensive transaction. I'm never gonna go out there and be like, this is something cheap. Obviously the value that we provide is insane, but the transaction that is happening is insane. And now that is how I measure that. Sure, maybe I can create an audience that can go and fight for me out there on the internet for the brownie points, or I can create an audience that I can give value to. And this is a real life value. This is not internet points. This is real life value where we are changing people's lives.
You're giving them jobs.
We are giving them jobs. And which is, in my opinion, the highest amount of impact that you can make in somebody's life.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I know for a fact that so many people reply to my old videos, sending me my old videos and be like, bro, I always go back to these videos. These are kind of my comfort zone. I love them, and my girlfriend watches this with them, and blah and blah. And I love it. I absolutely adore that aspect of, solo YouTube ship. But now, when I see that there are 150 people coming to meet me and telling me, because of you,
my life changed.
Yeah, my life actually changed.
Yeah.
I have moved out of my parents' house, or now I'm making more money than my father does. And we are from now we are planning to, get a newer house, because now me, my father and my brother are making X amount of money. And now it's like life has changed. There's some kid, I remember, sending me a video of him gifting gold to his mother.
Damn.
Because he was like, this is my first salary, and I'm
Yeah.
it was like some 5-6K he spent on getting gold for his mother. And that to
That's
me
crazy.
is like, oh wow, this happened because of me. This is an indirect or direct implication of we creating videos and we teaching. So now for me, sure, I would love to create those videos maybe sometime in days, but now I would love to just get hundreds of people, not hundreds, maybe 10 people team, and make a community of people that I can actually give value to, and those people in turn can give value to us. Because right now, if you guys don't know, brand deals are dead.
Yeah, I think I can illustrate my example only. I joined AV 2 months ago. I popped almost a year ago. One video went viral.
6.1 million views.
6.5 million, then one more 1.8 million views. And everyone was on, everyone's in the DMs, everyone's in the mail. So there were a lot of brand deals. And I picked the best ones like Cred, Swiggy, Instamart. And those were paying for my editing team and the designers and my expenses easily. Then it just stopped. Everyone's doing barter deals now.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, put up a story, we'll send you this. Yeah. Which is fine if you like the brand, but you can't eat. Yeah. You can't eat. Yeah. And if you have plans for your future, hey, I want to move out of my parents' house. I want to do this for my parents, or I want to get a house, car, all that.
All of a sudden, all of a sudden it becomes insustainable. Yeah. This year, I'm fairly positive a lot of you guys are going to see. And I'm not trying to be a doomer. Okay? This is not reality. This is not the side effect of me hanging out with Varun Maya. Trust me, I am an optimistic person. But this year, you're going to see a lot of YouTubers quit. Yeah, because these guys are not going to be able to make money. Because brand deals have dried up. Nobody is paying for influencer marketing anymore. VCs are not funding companies anymore.
Yeah, this is the recession after effects, right? As soon as recession hits, first thing they cut is marketing budget.
Yeah.
So for a while, there won't be brand deals.
Yeah.
Unless you're a big YouTuber.
Yeah. And that's when I realized that, oh wow, although brownie points on the internet is beautiful, and trust me, it is beautiful. You guys have no idea how much it acts like cocaine. It's cocaine, guys. I'm telling you, I love it. I loved every single aspect of just being there and creating that kind of videos and getting that instant feedback and being like, fuck, Focus is such a cool guy and I love his videos and his editing and he's a cool creator, and it's cocaine. It's for a guy who's sitting in his room and barely has any friends, which I'm fairly positive that most
YouTubers are like
that, because we are introverts. That's how you get into the entire space. And for you now, there are hundreds and thousands, and sometimes 100,000s of people cheering you on. That's cocaine, bro.
Yeah.
So I love every aspect of it, but now I have come to realize that it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if we didn't have the cohort, if that community didn't exist to back us up, this channel wouldn't exist. We wouldn't be able to get this. We wouldn't be.
Yeah.
But it's also positive. You can see the power of YouTube now. I remember saying this years ago and kept on saying it, that eventually every single company is gonna have a viral specialist. Every single company. And now I've started to see that.
Yeah, I've seen people get hired for these positions.
Yeah. Which was these positions didn't exist 3 years ago. They didn't.
That's great. And these people are real creators, TikTokers, who know what will pop.
Yeah, and somehow because you just know what is pop, now you're getting paid in lakhs.
And
it is a thing. I know people who are getting paid in lakhs. In lakhs, that is plural, not a lakh. In lakhs, they're getting paid, and this is a sustainable monthly check. Unlike what YouTube gives you, which is up and down. Every single YouTuber that I've met who is still doing well, maybe sitting on 300k, 400k subs, they still live in anxiety that tomorrow this can end.
Yeah. And like, let's speak about why Indian YouTube is not sustainable. If the same amount of views were coming somewhere in the US, Canada, Australia, you'd have AdSense money. Like,
True.
like if I pull views, I get money.
Yeah.
Here it's not the case.
We got 500,000 and we made 17 rupees on it.
17 rupees.
17, not even 70. 17. I can't get the big kurkure from it. Like one big kurkure I can't buy, bro. That's how much I made from YouTube. So it's incredibly difficult for you to sustain without having an aspect of like community, aspect of making something highly transactional. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Yeah, like
it's especially if it's something that's impacting people's lives in a good way.
Creating jobs and
it's not merch. Like you can't just wear it and throw it. I mean, get the merch.
Yeah,
like,
please. I mean, actually, you can't get the merch. So
you can't. Oh shit!
You have to join the cohort.
Join the cohort. And get the merch.
Yeah.
But yeah, imagine, do you want to wear a David Dobrik hat or do you want to get like a job that will sustain you?
And in India, that's the only way to function.
Yeah.
Like we were doing some research, and this is much after we were. This is from Indus Valley video, and it was like we were doing the research and we realized that India only spends on education, gold, and marriages.
Yeah, these are 3 markets that are always booming.
In India, like regardless. I mean, I'm not sure about booming because now all of a sudden every single edtech is also dying. So I don't know what is happening in that.
But colleges will be there, no?
Yeah.
Colleges will be there. Like it's crazy that college is actually a business.
Yeah. In India, I don't think college is ever going anywhere. Ever.
And imagine like I bring you on, 1 year fees you just pay upfront.
Yeah.
And you're here for 4 years.
Yeah.
If I fail you, you're here for more. Crazy business.
Yeah. And they will pay.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that Indian parents are going out of their way to take. Like I remember when I don't come from a very beautiful family. I remember my father having working 2 jobs, my mother working 1 job, and then getting money from somewhere else to be able to pay for my brother's education, for making him an engineer. Like I remember that. So Indian parents will go to lengths to give you the best education, and that is the only thing that we have seen that works.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not like we didn't think कि हम लोग video editing cohort बेचेंगे because all of this research. I'd never expected that somebody would actually buy it, but it did, and it worked so well, and I'm so happy.
Yeah.
And we are creating this impact, and like that is one of the best. Like people know we don't take like super expensive salaries from this company. We are not VC funded company. This is all bootstrapped.
Yeah.
So we are not taking huge funding, but I feel like everybody stays in this company and exists here because of, you see that direct impact. You see that kid who bought gold for their mother. You see that kid who has changed their life because they existed here or joined the cohort or joined in as an intern. So for me, existing here is just different. But let's come back to the
thumbnails.
Yeah, thumbnails.
I feel like we went on a tangent and I wanted to go like editing careers because both of us started out as editors.
Yeah. I remember. How did you get into editing?
So first job was Abish, again just plugging for Social Proof.
Yeah.
After that, I came back to Bangalore in pandemic time, and this was like the best earning period for me as an editor.
Oh yeah, that's like when everybody was getting into content.
Yeah,
everything was blowing up.
Everything was blowing up, and the in-house editors probably lost their jobs because no one could go to the office and work. So they started looking for remote editors, and the studio in Mumbai who was making Netflix India's content came. Like Nikhil only referred me to them, but once they saw the edits, they were like, we're sticking with them. And I just took a lot of projects from them. And I started with like 20K per video, went up to 45K per video. And I started doing multiple videos. Then I just hired my cousin. He was in college. He was like, bro, I'll teach you editing. 2 days, I'll teach you how to make lineups. And I'll pay you like a great salary because I'm getting so much money, I don't know what to do with it. And probably in hindsight, it's not the best way to run a business. But I was like, this is going to be there forever. Yeah. And so almost 12 lakhs per annum I could do just by freelancing.
Yeah. Very easy. I know editors who are making 14 lakhs per annum and then have enough time to get another freelance project on there.
Yeah.
Like, and that's Like
That's if you hustle.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
This was easy for me.
Yeah. If you're into a hustler mindset, editing careers now, all of a sudden, like I knew that this was gonna happen. I always said that, viral specialists are gonna exist. Somebody who owns the entirety of the stack of video, write, edit, present, make sure it goes viral and everything. Somebody who knows will make money. But I never expected it to happen this fast. Like my timeline was always like, okay, it'll happen 5 years later, maybe 2030.
Yeah.
Right?
We always say like first it happens in the West, then it comes to India. But it came like super quickly.
Yeah, like this, like 2 years, and all of a sudden everybody's minting money. Not even making, minting money. Yeah. Everybody started realizing, oh wow, you need distribution. You need to go viral. And all of a sudden, what is the first thing that they look for? They look for an editor.
That's the first job, right? That's crazy. Anything, you start a channel, even if you're a one-person YouTube channel, first thing you'll hire is an editor.
Yeah, that is. And now at this point, we have so much people who, like, demand is just insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. It's like coding level demand.
Level demand, and not replaceable by AI, even at this point. Maybe even in a year.
Yeah. I don't know when, like, I still feel like if you're a viral specialist, you are still like 5 years ahead of the curve. Like, even if your video editing aspect goes away, you will still know how to, write, or maybe in ChatGPT, but like, how to make it go viral.
Yeah, I think going viral is like more about judgment, right? This is going to work, this is not going to work. It's pretty much like, let's say, a stock analyst.
Yeah.
So this is like a content analyst.
Yeah. And that job I don't feel like is going anywhere. And that is something that we have recently incorporated in cohort as well, that we will teach you how to YouTube as well. Like earlier it was just editing. Now we have started incorporating, hey, this is how you think about thumbnails. This is how you think about lighting. This is how you think about YouTube. This is how you think about storytelling in itself. And we have started building out these viral specialists who are doing insane. Like, for one of the examples that I remember was, we are on top of editing this guy who was in the cohort, and he just made a video because we didn't provide enough footage and he wanted to practice. So he recorded himself. He made a video on Cadbury SRK ad that went viral. Right? They used AI to make sure. And he covered that, and that video went viral. And because of that, he got appointed in another company as a viral specialist that got like 120% hike in his salary.
Damn.
So to me, it's insane. Like, I know, like, I never expected Unacademy to pour in the amount of money they're pouring in to create a Mr. Beast-esque video.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
The Samay Raina hide and seek.
Oh,
like, what is it? It's Mr. Beast-esque video.
Yeah. Sidemen, Mr. Beast, yeah.
And now you're seeing this happen all over India, where every single company that we know is like contacting everybody. Like, we need to get into content. Everybody's trying to build their own content in-house team.
Yeah.
Because they know, like, it's just not going to function otherwise.
Yeah. I know one product manager, my friend who works for a fintech, suddenly her job is to head a content team.
Yeah. And it's
That's insane.
It is insane. So even though I do believe that AI is gonna take a lot of jobs, I feel like it is also bringing different kind of aspects forward to generate some more. Like, if you just know how to make virality happen, going to a company is the second option. If you are able to make yourself go viral, then that is obviously the first option. Much harder to sustain.
But yeah, because like you need initial capital also, I feel. Because knowing how to go viral, but executing is something.
So difficult.
It's difficult.
The mental pressure it comes. Like, being a leader in content. Like, I realized what being a leader truly means and how much of a bitch you are.
Yeah, it's just stress, no?
Yeah, that's all it is.
Just stress.
You're just
anxiety, stress, because you're taking on the risk.
Yeah. Like, tomorrow, if I don't make sure that this video goes viral, my editors might not get paid. That is the biggest amount of stress that one can have. Like, I am super, like, this is the happiest person I have been, because the video of the channel have started. Like, we are doing really good as a channel. Like, incredibly good. And we were always doing amazing. But this is just insane amount of views that we are getting from every single project. Just not AV TV as a channel, just everything is just blowing up, and that to me is insane.
We should have like a cumulative view count from all channels.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of the big things that our channels have recently started doing well is two
thumbnails.
aspects. Yeah, one is shorts, and other is thumbnails. And I just want to show you guys how big thumbnails make an impact. Okay, this video was doing some 8 out of 10. Okay, if you guys don't know what 8 out of 10 means, it's the rank of the video. Like, how bad is it doing? So the lower, the worse. If it's doing 10 out of 10.
No, the higher the worse.
the higher the better.
No, it's
Like
8 out of 10.
yeah, so the higher the worse.
Like better rank. First rank aana hai.
Yeah, first rank is best, 10 rank is worst. Okay. So we were getting, I remember we were experimenting with a lot of videos, and some videos weren't doing that well. So that's when I started getting into, and by that well, I mean we were still pulling like insane views. Like by education terms, we were doing insane, but we still wanted to optimize more, right? And this video was doing 8 out of 10, and we wanted to optimize more, and that's when I started looking into packaging. Okay, this is doing decent. This is our 64K on the first few days, which is beautiful for any other education channel. If you are somebody who runs a business, you can compare that, and people will die for 64K in 2 days. I know for a fact that, right? Because we have such a niche audience. We have somebody who actually can have that transactional relationship. People who want to get into this, like it's proper business. It's not just entertainment. Like this is just not brownie points. So the view here, the quality of views is much higher.
Yeah, basically like a large percentage of the viewers will be customers.
Yeah. This is customers in essential.
Potential customers. Yeah.
And this is when I changed the package. And you can see the difference it started making, where we started pulling almost like 1,000 to 2,000 views per hour. I think, let me see, what was the highest? Okay, we can't check that. But this was pulling like 2,000 to 3,000 views an hour. And it started just blowing up, and now it has finally plateaued. But you can see this view, like pump that it pops.
I was also part of the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And we were kind of bummed out that it didn't do as well.
Yeah.
So how did that spike happen?
Yeah. So, and this is an impact that we have started seeing that is happening through and throughout. Like I have recently started posting stories that is just showing that, listen, I'm just going to take this video to number 1. Like I've gotten to that aspect. Now I've gotten so confident in my skills of generating thumbnails that like I have a person, his name is Ashok, who works with me.
Say hi, Ashok.
Say hi, Ashok. Hi. Ashok is over there. So what we have started to understand is story is so important for a thumbnail. Like if you're just able to tell a good story from a thumbnail, if you're a good, like if you understand, for example, if you're a photographer, you understand composition, right? You will make your subject stand there, and you'll have trees and whatever making the road, and you'll click so that it tells a story, right? And that is one of the basic rules of composition. And there are multiple like rule of thirds, Fibonacci, and 1.618, all of that. And once we started taking that into account, once I started being like, okay, let's tell a story from thumbnails, we drastically started reducing the text that we put in the videos. Before if we go to old thumbnails of ours, let's go to super old. We used to have so much text. It was insane. Like so much text. Let me just go way back. Yeah, we used to have K-pop, all these texts in the bottom. Are we done? How Amul saved lives? All of that we used to have. And even though videos were doing well, but now when we started understanding, storytelling is the major aspect, you will see that now we tell stories only through images. Only through creating composition. And now we have been able to do this, repeat this again and again. Obviously, there are aspects to it. I want to just break down this particular thumbnail. Before this, we will just put it up in the edit. So what we have started to, we have developed a workflow that we will create 5 different thumbnails for 5 to 7 different thumbnails.
Why are you generating more options?
So what I've realized, I know that I can take a video from 100K to let's say 250K. I don't know how to take it from 100K to 1 million. Okay. So I play around this 100 to 250K mark. So I will try new stuff in this spectrum. So the more newer stuff I try, the more things I learn. And that pushes this spectrum of like maybe 250 to 300K. And slowly we should be able to get to, like, it's like A/B testing. The more A/B testing I do, the more understanding and the pattern that I'm able to develop that allows me to create and push this envelope of 250K to 300K views to 1 million views. We are yet to be able to hit 1 million views consistently. We've done it twice.
Yeah.
And I want to see how we can do it. Like click on reach, okay?
Yeah. So like the way you're experimenting is with these results, right?
Yeah. So we have noticed, ideally what you want to do is you want to have a thumbnail CTR that is stable. And that allows you to break, like that is all like if what YouTube is doing is basically you have 10% CTR, it shows it to 100 people. The CTR doesn't dip. So YouTube will show it to 1,000 people. CTR still doesn't budge. This moment YouTube will realize, okay, we have tried it twice. CTR is not dipping. Blow this video up. Show
Like
this
show
to
it to more and more people.
Just show it to more and more people. That's when you will notice that this bump in impression starts coming.
Yeah.
That people are just going, like YouTube has just decided, listen, the CTR is not budging. Till it does not budge, blow this video up.
Damn.
And it starts budging at around 2.9 million impressions.
Okay.
Like that's when you will see, just go to CTR once, just go to CTR. You will see now after a point in time, the view starts declining. Like the CTR starts going slowly down. So less and less people are starting getting interested in it.
Yeah.
So that's the story that we were able. So this story that we just showed is something that majority of people were interested in, right? And YouTube blew it to a point where like it pretty much took all the people who were interested in this story and made them watch this video, right? Or at least showed them this video. Maybe they decided not to click on it. The initial story that we tried to show was something completely different, because Varun starts with an intro that says, like Amazon is gonna die. Something like that, where Varun starts talking about. He was the presenter in the video.
So wait, now just to tell the audience, like you're talking about the thumbnail, title, and the first 15 seconds of the video.
Yeah.
Like these are all the three pieces that you need
Yeah.
to hook the audience and tell them like, hey, this is a good video.
Yeah. So like a story that you see in the thumbnail, the title kind of confirms that story, or in some sense expands the story, or in some sense brings that curiosity gap. It induces curiosity.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that curiosity gap is some sense confirmed by the hook. This formula usually works.
Yeah.
And this formula I've seen, like it's just a common formula that is being used in every single storytelling videos, every single viral videos, in fact, many films.
Yeah.
Like the director of Up, the first 10 minutes, all he does is makes you care about the character, right? So this formula is not something that we have realized something new. This is not something we've pioneered. It's just something that has worked multiple times. I've just brought it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we realized is the initial story that was trying to pitch the audience, and I hope that people would care, was because Jeff Bezos is multi-billionaire and maybe people would care about it. The idea I had was ONDC beating Jeff Bezos and Jeff Bezos crying and running away. This was the thumbnail that we had. I'll just show it up on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. It didn't work that well. Then I tried that Varun in one aspect talks about Swiggy and Instamart are gonna lower their prices. So I thought about, okay, let's play around this area. Let's try this story. Let's see if Swiggy and Zomato being scared of ONDC is a story that people would like to click. Didn't work either. Then we just tried, okay, let's just have Zomato in it. And we replaced the head of the person with Modi ji. Okay, Prime Minister Modi ji. And that's when things started working. Well, that, oh, this story of Modi ji being ONDC, taking, is beating Zomato up, or like, we are making Zomato scared.
I think in one line, the story would be the Indian government beating up Zomato.
Yeah, that is the story that's something people are interested about.
Yeah.
And that video, that thumbnail, that iteration worked well. So it's like I have a pattern recognition system. Okay, I know that one of these will work, but I don't know which one will work. So I just create multiple 5 to 6 thumbnails, 5 to 6 iteration of a story.
Okay.
And then I try it with it, and one of them works. For example, one of the recent videos that we post that is doing really well as well is this video about how Congress used Modi ji's fame against him to win South. Okay. And this video, the first thumbnail started working in itself. And you can you can see that the CTR is stable.
Yeah.
It's stable at 9.6 to 8.6%. Before this, it was stable at around 10%. And because of that, you can see just since the start, you're seeing that video, YouTube is just saying that, hey, listen, start showing it to people because this thumbnail is not budging. The story is not budging. The CTR is not budging. But you will see a slight dip happen, and you can correlate it with a little bit of plateau of impressions. The impressions have started to plateau. Now it makes sense for me to come in again and try and play with some different story. So this is the aspect of how we are playing around with it, that we are trying to play with different stories. And obviously, like, I don't have a cookie cutter formula. I don't.
And there isn't. Like, basically, the thumbnail is guessing what the audience wants.
Yeah.
Like, I think Mr. V said this, replace the word algorithm with audience.
Yeah.
Because algorithm is not some AI thinking for itself. It's just showing people, and if people are clicking it, it's going to show more people.
Yeah. And you can see this slow story change in our thumbnails started happening. One of the biggest reasons that it started happening was, I'll just show you. So Before that, I've already shown the kind of thumbnails we used to produce. I'll put it up on screen, Amul and all of that. Then we made this thumbnail of Andrew Tate. This thumbnail had a very high CTR, and even though the video was something that generally people don't care about, it did well. Like in India, I don't know if people care about Andrew Tate as much. Like a dog business of Andrew, I don't know if they care about. I tried the same with Mama Earth video, worked well. Then I tried the same with Stanford video, worked well. Shark Tank video worked well. Then I started trying it again and again and again and again, to a point where it just was like this credit card video was doing very bad. Like it was one of the worst performing of the entire channel, not just in the last 10 videos. Even this video, I was able to make it pull like more than 50-60% of our views, which is insane in terms of the quality of views. Like I want everybody to keep that in mind. We are not an entertainment channel.
I think we should note the point that if you're an English channel in India,
right,
the views you're going to get are automatically lower.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
You might be comparing AVTV to some of the Hindi creators in infotainment. And so unfair comparison because there are not that many English speakers. Just there's no audience there. Maybe
it's a boon or a curse, but we have alienated Hindi speakers.
Yeah.
Just we have done it.
Yeah.
And it's working, and it's working for us, and that is something that we do want to do because we want to involve everybody as much as we can.
Yeah.
And maybe if we just did Hindi, then we would have alienated the South.
Yeah.
So we decided to go down this route where we are like, okay, we're gonna do this.
And like speaking about quality of audience, as soon as you put English, I'm not saying English is better or anything, it kind of guarantees, okay, this person has a high school education.
Yeah.
And he can understand what we're going to say.
Yeah. That allows you to like, it's like a filtration process of like, oh, this person might have some sort of X amount of social mobility, allowing him to become the customer. Right? And it's not like, oh, we hate Hindi speakers. मैं खुद हिंदी बोलता हूँ. I love, मेरी मम्मी हिंदी टीचर है भाई. मैं शुद्ध हिंदी बोल के पैदा हूँ. मेरे को संस्कृत सिखाया गया बचपन में. I love Hindi. I love, like, I'm not really, like, I really do love India. Like, that's one of the reasons I've not done an MBA from Stanford. Like, I could have. मैं लोन लेके पहुंच जाता वहाँ पे, पर I've not gone out of India because I love India and I want to exist here. But I felt like because of the reason we kind of create content, because we do sell a video editing cohort, and that is one of the reasons this channel survives. Like if we didn't do that, if we were surviving on just brand deals, we would have had to fire like so many people that are helping me build this channel, and that would have been the hardest like conversation. Like imagine somebody who looks up to you, whose family depends on this paycheck that they're getting from the company, having to fire just because you're trying to get into that entertainment aspect of video creation just would be horrible for us. So we just decided to go Hindi. But coming back to this aspect, like this quality of views is very high. And because I changed the thumbnail to this kind of story, and this thumbnail was obviously inspired by Mr. Beast, I'll just put up the two thumbnails here, started working. Not a lot, not insane. It didn't get me 100,000 views, but got me enough to a point where it was like, oh, there is something that is worthy of exploration here. Okay. And we did it again and again to a point we realized something. And this is what I realized. Okay. I want everybody to do this experiment. Just go press Ctrl+Shift+N, go to incognito mode and go to the YouTube homepage. Okay. And this is this is something I've realized, and I've talked about this. Just tap on that YouTube button over there. Okay. This is incognito mode YouTube. Okay. And what is that Indians are looking for? Just scroll down. Okay.
At this point, YouTube thinks you're a default Indian.
Yeah, this is default Indian from somebody from Bangalore who's watching. Okay, and what is its people watch? What I came to realize is Indians, even though YouTube is rather like old, and we've had internet for like past 5 years because of Jio, even then, YouTube Indians still think of YouTube as an extension of television. Okay. So extension of television, so they don't want to go to YouTube to watch a specific entertainment, although that is slowly changing. They want what they saw on TV and they want a specific moment of it. मेरे को तारक मेहता season 1 का 560 episode देखने का है, जहाँ पे पंकज के ये हो जाता है. I don't know who Pankaj is. I'm just giving an example. Or I want to watch whatever
Kapil Sharma
this is.
show.
Yeah, Kapil Sharma show, or what this D15
movie,
or like some news.
All these, like except Tanmay Bhatt who's just like too big.
Yeah.
Everything else is TV related.
Yeah, it's very TV related. So what my brain made a connection with was, what is TV related? What is TV, right? It's movies and posters. So we made a deliberate change towards creating our thumbnails like posters, which is, if you check into
I want to show this one. This one is like one of my favorites.
Yeah. This Reliance manipulation video that we worked on. Tap on it.
Yeah.
You can just zoom in a little bit and we'll show the high quality one. The inspiration was just like, we're gonna create a movie poster, like an IPL Netflix series, docu-series. And the reason we have done it is because Indians still on a regular basis do think of YouTube as an extension of television and not an entertainment entity of its own.
This is one more reason why like you can't copy paste a Mr. Beast thumbnail and work in India.
Like you can't make it like and think that will work, because we've tried it. We tried the whole.
Yeah.
But it didn't work because Indians just like it's not there. And
it's a different audience.
Even if you can, like you'll only target people who have already been exposed to the West.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll go to like that, but you are not getting the new audience. That's what I feel like. That's my hypothesis. And till now, these foundational hypotheses have led us to a point where we are able to successfully tell stories and make every single video of ours kind of boom and get newer and newer subscribers. For example, we are gaining at this point 2,000 subscribers a day.
This is insane.
Which is insane. Which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
That is one, like, that's why I don't think like if your idea is just like because I see this happen with a lot of entertainment creators where you are like, okay, this is working in the West, it might work in India. Although that cycle was true when it started, where Leafy here was working in the West and Carrie Minati started working here. Not to say that Carrie Minati didn't innovate and didn't bring something of his own. He absolutely did. But it was an obvious transition. Like you saw it, like it was Uber and Ola.
Yeah.
Right? And it is like, it's just a common, like I'm not trying to bash anybody.
And it's not an easy feat to replicate these
absolutely,
guys.
100%.
Right?
Like,
Ola is not, it's really hard to run.
You can't just do it. Like even though Uber worked in America, you don't know if it would work in Ola in India, and it did. And that's a pattern that we have kind of followed through and throughout. But now I think, at least in YouTube terms, we have started to break from it. Because like newer and newer, specifically Indian YouTubers have started come out covering only Indian culture, and like just predominantly something completely new from India. And actually, to be honest, Bhuvan Bam did something that was completely Indian. Like it wasn't like, Vines did exist in America, but not the way Bhuvan did it.
Yeah.
Similar with Ashish. Yes, sketches existed, but not at the way that Ashish Chanchalani did it. Like Ashish he's pulled 50 million views on an average, not on an average, but like kind of like there on like some of his sketches.
Damn.
Like his OTP lottery pulled like around, I think both of them combined pulled like around 60-70 million views.
These are all like sketch creators. I remember like BBK Vines, Bionik, Ashish Chanchalani, and at that boom time they did like they set the
and that these guys kind of confirmed my hypothesis, because, and I don't know if these guys did it consciously or subconsciously, or they were like, I want to go into Bollywood, therefore my everything I do will be Bollywood-ish. But every single thumbnail that these guys create, for if you go to Harsh Beniwal, his posters, his thumbnails are movie posters. He creates 40 minutes short films. His thumbnails are movie posters. Right? So I saw that, and so a bunch of these things happened. I realized, this might be the place to go for. And we tried it, and surprisingly, it has started to work. What I've also realized is, even this is not copy pastable though. Like we've been trying it with 100x. We've not been witnessed with that kind of success that we have shown in Aevy. And one of the reasons I feel like that is the case is because every single genre has their own style of existing thumbnails that we need to explore. For example, MKBHD just produces very different thumbnails. Tech thumbnails. Like his thumbnails are very different.
Very clean, very minimal.
Yeah. For example, like tech, and then if you go to reaction thumbnails, they are very different, where there's a face, where there is the face. Right? Like MKBHD's thumbnail does not have any to it. It's
very simple.
Very different.
Yeah.
Right? And that is what we have kind of realized, where like we maybe need to figure out for 100x and for tech
what is like own, their unique thumbnail.
What is their posters?
Yeah.
What is their
unique posters? Yeah.
And maybe if we can figure that out, and we can figure out the stories that the tech people in India wants to listen to, we can probably make it blow up. So that is what you need to take out from this podcast, that you need to really truly understand the audience that you are catering towards, see truly what they want, what kind of stories that they are interested in, and create a composition in that style, which will allow you to hope. And it's not a cookie cutter formula. It is not, but it gives, like, this episode should give you a principle that you can build upon.
Okay. So I think we have gone into the weeds of thumbnails, and I want to go back to someone who's starting, a business or a creator who's starting.
Yeah.
I remember when we started YouTube, thumbnail was the last thing you did.
Yeah.
You took a screen grab and you posted.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Tell the audience how much time we spend on thumbnails and how we go about planning it. Like when the script is ready, idea is ready, we start to plan it. Just go through that process.
Yeah. So the ideation process that we've had, and this is something that every single business or a solopreneur or just somebody or 21-year-old who wants to get into content really need to think about, is you already probably have an insight if you're a business. Like, if, let's say, you're a real estate business, the likelihood of you having a lot of insight about businesses or real estate market is much higher. So we already have an aspect which you will go for. Because I always say this, right? That anything that had to be created on YouTube has already been created. You want to watch, like, you initially when YouTube has started, Thai tutorials is something some people used to watch. It was a very big genre. Like Thai tutorials died out very quickly because only so much you can do. Right? And all these tutorials वगैरह existed, but now anything that had to be watched has already been created. So now if you want to be watched, you need to bring in something new. One of the best ways to bring in something new is if you already have insight about it. For example, if I wanted to create another channel, I would probably create it about YouTube or editing or something like that, which is something
that's what we're doing here.
Reason being because we already bring in a lot of insight.
And it's not something that we are
thinking about.
No, like they say, document, don't create, right?
Yeah.
It's just happening. There are like 8 channels being run out of here, and this is all we talk about.
Yeah.
And we're just putting a camera on it.
So that is something that is first thing you need to think about. Like, you want to be different. You want to have an insight. So if you already run a business, or if you have a background in some aspect, and that is something you don't mind exploring in YouTube, because I know a lot of people are like, no, I want to create something different, which in my opinion feels stupid. But if you already have that kind of insight, beautiful, you'll have a very good advantage. Okay, let's create videos about real estate. Okay, let's pick that example.
Cool. Let's say real estate.
Yeah, real estate business wants to create YouTube videos.
Wants to create YouTube
Lovely,
videos.
you already have insights.
Okay.
Anything I want to talk about, you will probably know that, hey, this is something that on an average, Indians don't know about real estate.
Okay, I know Indiranagar, there's this property.
Yeah.
Like boom happening.
Yeah.
Just hypothetical. There's like a lot of properties.
Yeah.
They're at a high valuation.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I want to talk about this. I want to make a video about this.
Yeah. So what you want to do is, you want to pick a story that your audience would like to watch. Real estate, obviously. There's an Indiranagar property coming up that is not, like, it's best property, but nobody's buying it. Okay. So this is the story that you want to show people. Okay. So inside you've already written the script, you've already presented or editing, all the things being done on the side. Now it's your job to think about the packaging. Okay. What you want to do is, you really want to think about the story that your audience, which is something that you would understand the best, would be interested in. In my opinion, it would be very clear you want to show a real estate property. Like, instead of telling, check this out, you should just, in the thumbnail, there should be a real estate property or some story that is, like, for example, for me, it would be a beautiful shot of the house, okay, with a map of Indiranagar on the side. And then the title should be the best property in Indiranagar that nobody's buying. What this does is, it does multiple things. Proof of concept is there. Okay, this is the property that is in Indiranagar. Okay. Second thing is that it's the best property. So it's like, wow. And then it creates a curiosity gap. It's like, wait, nobody's buying it. What do you mean? What do you mean nobody's buying it?
Yeah.
Like, if it's the best property, why is nobody buying it? It creates that curiosity gap that makes your audience wants to click. So you want to think in stories where it's like, oh, what is something that my audience would really want to know about, and insight, and that is something that we really think about.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things that we are currently working upon is, how did India become the gutka capital?
Can we reveal?
I mean, maybe we can blur it or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe by the time this video goes out, that video is already there. But if we are working on that, I know for a fact all the audience that watches me will care about, because almost everybody
They're all
has
gutka eaters. Huh?
Yeah, that is the next course we are selling, how to become the pro gutka
Oh
eater.
my God.
No, the reason is because every one of us have seen some gutka eater. Like, it's very common. We have
Yeah.
seen the pan spits all there.
Yeah,
and all
we've
of
been
us
spit
have,
on also. Some
yeah,
of
yeah,
us.
yeah, yeah. It's just you open your mouth and you cat it like, not letting it go to waste and shit like that.
Nice.
No, you've seen the pan spits and you have gotten angry in the corner. Like, why is all of this dirty? Right? So I know this story is, we already will have insight, and I know this story is something people would care about. Like, I just know it. Right? And everybody would, because it's relatable to my audience. What is that
Yeah.
relatability factor that nobody's talking about in your audience? How do you make that story intriguing? The principle I think of it is like, I have maybe 10 minutes with you. I've met you for the first time. What is one sentence I can say that will make you interested in my story? Right? And that is how I title my thumbnails. This is how I title my YouTube videos. Like, for example, one short that is going out today is about Patanjali. Okay, and we have no problems with Patanjali. I think they are a good company. Some aspects of it can be better, obviously, and that is on them to improve it, and we just cover it. Okay, one of the things we are talking about, and because they have been gotten sued by, they're doing, because there's some problem allegedly going on that.
There was cuttlefish bones
Yeah.
listed in the ingredients.
Yeah.
And someone's suing them because
They
we are
market it as pure veg.
Yeah, they market it as pure veg. That's
So that
the
is
brand.
the problem going on. So the way I title this story is, if I have 15 minutes to tell you, right? Bro, did you know Patanjali products are actually non-veg?
Damn.
Right? So now all of a sudden you're like, wait, what? What do you mean?
It's like,
Yeah, what
how?
do you mean? How?
What the hell?
Yeah, it gives...
I've been eating this whatever Patanjali product.
Yeah.
My mom eats it. My grandma, who's 100% vegetarian, eats it.
Yeah.
How can there be
Yeah.
non-veg stuff in it?
And that is how I title my shorts. My shorts are just like for example, we did a video on Rameshwaram Cafe,
Which
that
is
sitting
at 1.5 million views.
It's insane.
Jinx. Yeah.
It's crazy, and I'm not even counting the views that we've gotten on shorts. This is just
No need.
reels,
Just reels.
right?
Yeah.
So it's insane. It's blown crazy amount.
Yeah.
But the way we titled it is, wait, ... There is a cafe in Bangalore that makes 50 crores a year. Right? So that is how I think of it. Like, if I met you again, how would I talk about the Rameshwaram cafe story? Like,
Yeah.
oh, there's a cafe that makes 50 crores a year. That's such, and then maybe I can add on top of it like 150 square foot. And that makes it interesting.
And you compare it to like a big business like
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Yeah. So that curiosity becomes like super huge.
I think we cover this part in another episode deeply, like hooks.
Yeah.
Just
like
hooks.
shorts, hooks, because one aspect has been for us, growth has been thumbnails, other is shorts.
Yeah.
So we will do another episodes on shorts itself and how we think about shorts and how we are pulling. Like, we started shorts 10 days ago, and now we're pulling 500,000 on like almost every single short.
And
which is insane.
these viewers are converting into long form
Viewers,
video.
yes.
And that's like, should we talk about the funnel?
I think we should do it a proper.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in another episode.
But yeah, that has been it. I am sure that a lot of you guys will have other topics that you.
What do you
us to
guys
cover.
want to, like, I'm just going to ask these guys. What about thumbnails do you guys want to cover? Like, should we talk about? One last audience question.
Anything, like if you have a question about thumbnails, we already talked about it. What else? You think everything has been done? Beautiful. Okay. I think that is about it for today's episode.
What's the thumbnail for this?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I will want to create. I had an idea. The thumbnail creation I wanted to do is how I want to title it like how to not create a thumbnail or some stuff like that, and have a bad thumbnail, but like intentionally, like not this. Like how to create a good thumbnail. This is a good something like that. Maybe
This is not a good thumbnail.
something like that,
Yeah.
and see if that works. If it doesn't work, maybe we'll probably change the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Or it has not worked. But I'm fairly positive with thumbnail alone, I can probably get this video to good.
We don't know yet. This is going to be a new channel, so let's see.
Let's figure
It's
it out.
going to be fresh audience.
Yeah.
So let's see. We'll also learn from it.
Yeah.
And yeah, this has been Fame by Frame.
Fame by frame.
And to get your fix of Fame by Frame, subscribe to our channel. Go follow us on all the socials. We're going to put out clips from this to other social media. And let us know if you learned anything from thumbnail, and let us know what you want to cover. Where are you stuck in your YouTube journey as a business or a creator?
Yeah.
Next one, we'll cover hooks.
Yeah, we'll cover shorts and hooks and how we think about
Yeah, the
impact
first
of
10 seconds of the video is the most important part of it.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
We'll go into the deep ends tomorrow.
That's the hook for the next video. That's about hooks.
Yeah.
Damn.
Bye-bye.
Bye.